our TV show is set 35 years in the future, after planet Earth has been devastated and forever transformed by an intergalactic war. We're now 7 alien races, collectively known as the Votans, trying to cohabit and survive on planet Earth with humans. This is set at a time when these people are trying to live together. And don't think just because they're aliens that the 7 Votan races who have come here, they don't particularly like each other either, but they're forced to overcome their own prejudices to survive and live in this world, sometimes to better effect than others.
So what did you think when you read the script then? Because it's crazy, the whole show is completely crazy, there's aliens everywhere. Were you sort of like, whoa?
Well, actually, the script was going through a rewrite, so I was unable to read the full script, and because I love Kevin Murphy so much, and because I love the guys over at Syfy so much, I actually went out on a limb and I read my scenes, and I loved the scenes, but the scenes didn't exist in a script. They only wrote the scenes for me to audition with.
Right, okay.
So I had a real sense of who the character was, but in the original script, my character was barely in it. So yeah, I really took a risk.
Oh, okay.
It paid off. She's a little bit of a puppeteer, Lady Macbeth, kind of making things happen. She doesn't feel a need to kind of assert herself. She doesn't need to take credit for things, but behind the scenes she definitely wields power.
So how was it when you first got into costume as the character? Because you've got an amazing wig, you've got these really cool contact lenses.
Yeah.
How was that to sort of see yourself looking like that?
Well, it was a huge shock. When I read that the role was, she was very pale, I thought, well, I'm very pale anyway. And lilac eyes, I thought, well, I haven't got lilac eyes. And long grey hair, I thought, well, maybe I'll be wearing a wig, but maybe I can talk them out of it. So when I went for the makeup and the camera tests, and I actually saw what they had in mind, I was pretty wowed. And it took quite a long time to get to where we are now. And it evolves throughout the season as well. Every time Tony Curran, who plays my husband, touched my face, I'd end up with a handprint of my own skin showing through. It was a comedy of errors sometimes.
And of course you have a bath scene, like a scene in a hot tub with him in the first episode. So how did you do that without all the paint just floating to the top of the tub?
The paint did come off, and that was a steep learning curve, and we were in the water for, felt like days, again trying to work it out. But when we're in the Castathan house, everything in the Castathan house is quite white, so we're able to saturate it and bleach it in a way that really helps the makeup. But the makeup became the third person in the room. Luckily, the Castathans are very proud people, and they're quite arrogant, and I made some decisions for my character to save the makeup, because other races or people would try and touch me, and I would just kind of try and get away, because actually I didn't want to ruin the makeup, but actually it became a character choice.
So she's not a hugger then?
She's not a hugger, no.
So what did you think the first time you went on set and you saw all the people in costume and the amazing makeup? I mean, for a start, your character's walking down the street at one point and there's a big orangutan man behind you. I mean, was that really cool seeing all that?
I had a bit of a crush on him.
You have a crush on the orangutan?
He was so sweet. He was so cute. I mean, I guess he's got a remote control face. So in between takes, his face just kind of hangs open. And Stephanie Leonidas, who plays Arissa, one day turned to Grant Bowler, who plays Nolan, and was like, the orangutan looks so miserable. He looks really sad, Grant. And Grant was like, I think he's Australian. I think he's okay. I think that's not really his face.
So you also have to talk another language as well on the show. How is that? Are you sort of learning the language, or are you just memorising?
Memorising, because I would love to learn another language, but if I go into a place and try and order something in Castathan, I might get committed. So I think it's probably best that I just learn it parrot fashion.
Just learn the swear words, that's always the best.
The swear words, the whole cast, we use it, in our own slang now. It's become part of the way we communicate with each other.
Would you swear for us on camera? Or there won't be any children watching.
Well, Castertons don't really swear, but other characters might say things like, we might say that they don't give a stacker about something, and you might even say that you're hot stacker if you felt like saying that. But there are what was that other word that Tony had to say? Gawking. Anyway, I probably murdered it, but who knows? You'll never know, will you? Because it's an alien language. But there was one line in the pilot that I had to say, and I was so nervous because out of all the languages, all the alien languages, my language is spoken the most rapidly. Partly because Castertons are quite impatient people and like to show off. So I had to learn this line, and it was and I was so nervous that I just wandered around saying it in the shower, saying it to my friends. People would call me and I would say that before I said hello, and I'd sing it, and not only do I know it, but about 5 of my very close friends know how to say that line too.